Hey guys, welcome to day one of my back to homeschool week. This is my third year doing a back to school week, all focused on back to homeschool videos like our schoolroom, our schedule, some of our school supplies, etc. And beginning last year, and I'm continuing this year, every single video this week will have a giveaway attached to it. So make sure that you're subscribed and you're here all week you'll have 5 chances to win 5 different awesome items. And I'm really excited about today's giveaway. It's kind of like an announcement and a giveaway in one. And so I want to show you right out of the gate, what today's giveaway is. So here we go. You guys know that I am a big fan of Anna Vance Paper Co. on Etsy, and she has become one of my very good friends on social media. I feel like I know her in real life, like we would be the best of friends. And I was so honored when she reached out to me and asked if I wanted to collaborate with her on designing a planner. So this is like twofold, because the first thing I wanted to announce is that one of you guys will be winning a beautiful custom planner from Anna Vance Paper Co. You can either choose the one I'm showing you right now, or you can choose any other planner on her Etsy shop. So make sure that you go in the description box below and check out how to enter to win that. But the other thing I wanted to announce is this custom planner, and my favorite verse is Colossians 3:23. It is the verse that I carry with me in our homeschooling journey and just in life in general, as a mother, as a stay-at-home mom, just thinking about everything that I'm doing, being a service that I'm doing with the Lord. And so I have 2 planner options here that we've designed together. The first one is the chalkboard cover that has that Bible verse, and I love this. It's super cute. The other one was actually designed by her, and she looked at an Instagram photo that I had of my kids and said that it really inspired her. And so she made this beautiful watercolor of my kids and printed it on the planner. And you guys can do the same thing. So if you would like to purchase one of these custom planners with a watercolor print of your kids, I definitely recommend checking out her website. It is so beautiful, and every time that I sit down to plan in this planner, it stops me in my tracks because I just think it's such a beautiful personalized touch to put on the front of a planner. If you guys have never checked out her planners, they're amazing. They're sprinkled with Charlotte Mason quotes and thoughts and Bible verses all throughout, and they are so good for homeschooling families. It has everything from book lists and miscellaneous phone numbers and year at a glance and days at a glance and checklists, and it's just unbelievable. It's like a novel. It is everything that I need to record for our portfolios in the state is in one place. There's options for your kids to write out personalized goals for the year. There's places where you can dream and plan and pour your heart out. And then there's practical places where you can write recordings of your day and subject by subject and such. And her shop is just beautiful all around. The stickers and labels and everything in her shop is just absolutely stunning. So good luck to whoever wins this giveaway. Make sure you enter down below in the description box. And thank you so much, Anna Vance, not only for this giveaway and for this custom planner, but for your friendship. It means the world to me. Thank you so much, Anna Vance, for helping me with this giveaway and for all of your beautiful work. Your planners have honestly blessed our family immensely, and I'm really excited to be using your planner again this year, and I'm really excited to see this beautiful planner in some other moms' hands. So good luck, you guys, and thank you so much, Anna. So keeping with theme, today's video is going to be our schedule. So that is going to be our homeschool, our annual schedule, like our yearly schedule this year, as well as our daily schedule and kind of how that fits into our weeks. So I'll start by saying that our annual schedule this year, once again, we're going to be doing a year-round school. Last year was our first year, so we had some kinks to work out for it being our very first year. Things like me pre-planning our weeks off, which is just my personality. I learned right away that that didn't work. And so I'm definitely going into this year with more of a stored bank of weeks we can take off when we need it versus a planned, this is when we're taking weeks off. We took 6 weeks for the summer, which means, and that was the remainder of the weeks that we had left from last year. And so my plan is to, technically there are 36 weeks in a traditional school year. And so that leaves you with 16 or so weeks, is that right, that you can take off throughout the school year. So my hopes are to take about 4 weeks surrounding Christmas, a few weeks before Christmas, and at least, you know, a couple weeks after Christmas, so maybe 4 or 5 weeks, just to enjoy the winter season here in Florida with my family, because there's a whole lot more to do outside in the winter time than, you know, there is to do outside in the summertime here. So I've always enjoyed a slow pace in the winter, as well as some time to reset before the second semester. But then we'll just use additional weeks off as I see them fit throughout the year, as well as using the remainder of our days when we finish, when I feel like we finished our school year, say when they finish their math and reading or whatever my goal is to say that we're finished, we'll use the remainder of those weeks that we have stored up as our summer. So that could be 4 weeks, it could be 6 weeks, but generally I am assuming that will be done sometime toward the beginning to end of May, and then once again take June off, hopefully, but I'm open to whatever that may look like. Additionally, in the state of Florida, you are not required to complete a certain number of days. So I have been questioned on why we choose to do 36 weeks of school. My answer to that is just because I like to. I don't like to take too many weeks off because I like the routine of school, but also we are not doing 5 full days a week. We're not even doing like a full week's worth of work every single week, versus if we were doing a traditional school year schedule, I would kind of honor the 5 days a week a little bit more strongly. Honor it, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I would really be more consistent with the 5 days a week. We do about 4 days of work a week, and in those 4 complete days, we are not completing a complete week's worth of every single chapter. So for example, in science, in Apology of Science, maybe they would have you complete a chapter in 2 weeks. We might take 2.5 to 3 weeks. So we're not really completing everything in a week's worth of time. So the 36 weeks, it includes things like our music lessons and our extracurriculars. It includes art, it includes field trips, it includes nature studies. So because of that, academic subjects are not always completed in 1 week's worth of time. So the 36 weeks is just generally a buffer for us to complete all of our other subjects. Now, as far as the breakdown of our school year this year, this is the first year that I'm going to be using the Charlotte Mason 3-term system, so 3 12-week terms. And we might take a second week off in between each of those terms. So we may have a 2-week break in between those 3 separate terms. We're also going to be using her exam week idea as well. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing 11-week terms with an exam week, or if I'm going to be doing 12-week terms with an exam week. But whatever I decide to do, I'll keep you posted. Exam week might sound scary, especially considering that I have elementary students, but I'm gonna put a link below to Simply Charlotte Mason's video on Charlotte Mason and exams. It's actually a beautiful concept. It's an exciting time to celebrate what they've learned. It includes our whole family. It includes my husband. And I'm really looking forward to working toward that goal with my kids. And so exam week, don't let that freak you out. We generally don't do tests in our homeschool, but it's going to be worked into our schedule, and I'll keep you posted on that. So the fun thing is our daily schedule and the breakdown of that. So I have my notes here. I'm going to be referencing it. So I'm going to probably put it up here on the screen, what my plan is for our daily schedule, but I've been asked every single year when I've done this video if I will post our schedule somewhere to be shared, and so that you guys can, you know, copy that schedule or whatever you want to do with it. The reason I'm not doing that, and I haven't done that before, is not because I'm protecting our schedule. Obviously, I'm making it very public here by saying it, but the reason that I'm not making it to where you can print it off and copy it is because my goal in doing this video is to share my experience, kind of show you how I've tailored our schedule to hopefully fit our family's needs, and to have that be kind of motivation for you guys. And if you're looking for motivation as far as working a schedule out for your family, the last thing I want is for anybody to try to make our family schedule work perfectly for your family, because Whoa, that was loud. Somebody just slammed a door. Because I don't want anyone to feel like there is one perfect way to schedule, and I don't want anyone to try to make our family schedule work perfectly in your home, because I know that that will only produce disappointment. It will make you discouraged, and you'll feel like you're not measuring up to some standard that is not actually there. So this is very much tailored to our family, and it works very well for our family. I believe it will. And I don't want you guys to think that this is like the way to do it. And I know most of you know that, but just in case, I mean, I still watch videos and think that I need to like change things to fit that idea. So just to keep it to where you guys are not feeling pressured, I'm not going to post our schedule. So this is just the breakdown of our schedule. Now, last year I did attempt loop scheduling. That went out the window after about 6 weeks. The reality of the loop schedule is, I'm sure, and I know it works really great for so many of you, but for me, it doesn't work. I'm not sure if it works for my kids, but for me, it doesn't. And so that means it does not work for my kids, because I cannot hang on to it. The more helpful thing for me is to have a more structured rhythm and protect our days versus having a flexible schedule that can be modified based on what comes each day. Does that make sense? So I'd much rather just say I can't make doctors, dentists, or whatever appointments until 3 o'clock in the afternoon versus taking a 9 a.m. appointment and then working our schedule out around that. Now, of course, there are always emergencies, but for us, that would just be a day of lost school versus trying to modify around that. So right now, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, our mornings look generally the same for the first 2 hours. So my plan is that from 8 to 9 each morning, and now these are like hour blocks, and none of these things will either will take a little over an hour or they'll take significantly less than an hour, but they're basically like markers to get us back on track if we get off track. So from 8 to 9 is our opening table time. So that's our morning basket, that is our calendar time. This year I'm gonna be putting breakfast on the table there. I think that's gonna help us with like getting to the table. The kids will wake up much earlier and they always like grab a granola bar or something or a piece of fruit, so they're not starving. But I think that if we have our more formal breakfast around the morning basket, that it's gonna help me as far as getting to the table on time, because breakfast, I've told you guys for years, like it's the hardest thing for me to do, and my husband did it for years, but that doesn't work for us anymore. So chores, all that stuff will happen before that, but my goal is to all be sitting around the table at 8 a.m. So that opening table time includes all of our memory work as well as our morning basket time. I will do a video here next week or the week after on what our morning basket is right now, but it is different than what I've shared in years past. And I know that I've kind of told you guys that that was going to be happening. Then from 9 to 10 on those 4 mornings each week is going to be our family subjects. So that will either be science or history on those different days, and their math. So they'll have to take turns, you know, on the different computers, but that is the time that they'll be doing their math, and that I'll be working one-on-one with Eli and his math. It generally doesn't take more than 30 minutes. So within that hour, the family subject should be somewhere around 30 minutes, as well as their math. After that, from 10 to 11 is when I hope to have our outside hour. That hour has changed back and forth a little bit. When it's really hot, then I'll put that at 9, and then we'll have our family subjects at 10. But generally 10 o'clock is not too horribly hot. I mean, we're just used to it. So, and we have big oak trees over our house, so the kids can still play outside and not be too hot. My goal is to also be outside during that time with them, and it is definitely an hour long. We need an hour outside in the morning just to have some fresh air and to cool down a little bit. Now, one of those days, one of those Monday through Thursday days, we are not going to have our outside time. We do have a Bible study that we have to leave the house at about 9:40. And so one of those days, there is no 10 to 12 school time scheduled, but the 8 to 9 and the 9 to 10 fit into all 4 of those days. So then we have from 11 to 12 is our language rotation and independent work. So their independent work is their handwriting, Spanish typing, if they have any of those smaller, like little hard to fit in subjects. I call them my folder subjects. I'll try to remember to link the video to that. And the language rotation means that I'm sitting at the table while they're doing their independent work, and I'm working one-on-one with them for that complete hour on their either Simply Charlotte Mason, Using Language Well and Spelling Wisdom, or with Eli's All About Reading, which is a program that we love. So that gives me an hour to work individually with them while they're also completing other work. And then that's it. My goal was to be done with school by lunchtime. Technically, I still consider our read aloud to be lunch or to be school as well as our quiet time. So technically we're still doing school because we're having lunch around noon, doing our contributions, and then I'm going back to what I used to love, which is shutting the house down after they've done their contributions, turning the lights down, having some cozy up time while I read aloud to them before we move into our quiet time hour. But technically, like, I don't know if you would consider that to be school time. It's just kind of like family reading time. So then they'll move into their quiet time after that. So that's our Monday through Thursday schedule. Our Friday schedule is similar, but it is going to be our enrichment day or our fun Friday day or whatever you want to call it. So our Friday time, instead of the morning basket, on Friday mornings we will be doing our 5 in a row. I am going to be doing one book for about 6 weeks at a time, so that should be 2 books per term or 6 books for the year. And that's going to be more focused on Eli and Jesse, although our whole family will participate in that time together. So that's 1 hour from 8 to 9 for 5 in a row. From 9 to 10, I plan on working on their logic and any additional math that they need to complete if they didn't complete 4 lessons that week. From 10 to 11 will still be our outside time, and then we're going to be doing our art lesson, which is Yellow Spot Sun. And then at that point, so my friend and I have been doing history together, alternating whose house we go to every year. Every week, but this year we're going to do it every other week because as our kids get older, they're able to complete more in-depth projects, which means that we don't need to be meeting weekly and doing like the smaller scale projects. So we are going to be meeting every other week after having read 2 chapters at home, which we did the first year that we met as well, just to fit it into our schedule. So if it's a history week, then at that point we either tidy up and prepare to have our friends over or get ready to go to our friend's house. But on the alternating weeks, that is when we will be doing our handcraft. So yes, I'm only making time in our schedule to do our handcraft every other week, but they will be working on that, I'm sure, in their free time. And that's just realistic for our family to be doing that every other week, because if I put something that's not really going to happen every week, then eventually we'll just kick it off our schedule completely. And our poetry tea time. So again, poetry tea time is only every other week, but we do make it a big to-do. We always bake something fun together. We sit down, we do it a little more formally, or we'll do it outside, which involves prepping, bringing that outside, and having like a nature study tea time. So every other week is fine for that. Also, for our lunch on our off weeks is when we do our picture book picnic. And so that is just where we get some picture books. Instead of doing a read aloud, I do a read aloud picture book instead of a chapter book, and we will go somewhere, ride our bikes to one of our family's houses who live in the neighborhood, or to the little park down the road, or even just in our backyard, and we will do a picture book picnic outside. So that is the way that I'm trying to balance our schedule this year. That's our annual schedule as well as our daily schedule. I would love to hear if any of these things sound intriguing to you, if any of this seems like it would work in your schedule, as well as any modifications that you've made to your schedule this year based on years past. Good luck with that giveaway. Do not forget to enter. Again, thank you so much, Anna, for putting together this beautiful planner. I cannot wait to see who wins it. And do not forget to come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day for other back to school themed videos. If this video is helpful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. That is really helpful to me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.